This is the 2023 Zenhua Dux I just bought for 600 euros. Okay, this might sound crazy, but the moment I saw this bike online, I thought this is it. 2 years old, only 4,300 kilometer or 3,000 miles, and the asking price ridiculously low. Today we're gonna turn this Zenhua Dux from trash to cash. We've got a bike, a few surprises waiting for us, and 60 euros left to my name. Can I make this flip profitable? Let's find out. I got the bike for a great deal, and I didn't even need to put much work into it. But yet, I ended up with the biggest profit I've ever made on flips so far. So make sure you watch the whole video if you want to know what went into this complete process. We'll be covering why and how I bought the bike, what issues there were, and how we fixed them, how we saved money while fixing them, and I'll be sharing the secrets in how we ended up achieving the biggest profit I've made so far. So don't forget to subscribe right now for more of these videos, since 99% of viewers are not subscribed yet. Like, yo, what are you doing, bro? Smash it right now. Without any further ado, start the video right here is what I'll do. You ever wake up and scroll Facebook Marketplace half asleep and suddenly your brain goes full detective mode? That was me. It's like something about that listing just screamed, this one's different. Like, I could feel it. Also, full disclosure, I didn't even have a coffee yet, so this might get messy. The pictures looked too good. I thought maybe it's a scam, but I had to take the shot because deals like this don't sit online for long. One message too late and it's gone. And honestly, this was one of those gut check moments. You know, when your wallet's saying don't do it, but your gut saying trust me. That's where I was. So if you're looking at the video right now, you could probably tell the bike's in pretty dirty condition. It's not in rough condition, but it's just a lot of dirt and oil everywhere, which is one of the most important things. Clean everything up before you sell it. That's exactly what I'm gonna do in the next clip. So I get there and the seller's like, it's been maintained, trust me. But I always do my checks. Compression, brakes, shifting, all perfect. Bike looks pristine, but plot twist, the lights don't work. This dropped the price down to 600 euro. Already my heart's racing, 2 years old, low mileage, and a 600 euro buy-in? Big stakes, big potential. Comment below what's the craziest marketplace bargain you've ever scored. I went over every picture at least 5 times before even showing up. Zoomed in on the bolts, frame, the exhaust, even reflections. Anything that could give away damage or rust. That's the thing most people miss when buying bikes. Don't rush it. Study the listing like you're investigating a crime scene. I also checked market value, compared it on Kelly Blue Book and local sites. In mint condition, this exact Dex sells for double the asking price easily. At this point, the bike was finally washed. When I went to look at the bike, it was the mom selling the bike for her son. Apparently he wasn't there, so which made me a little bit skeptical. But then I tested compression manually, shifted through all the gears, brakes felt solid, and it has zero rust, and the suspension was also fine. So yeah, that's rare. Another thing, this frame color, it was a nice gray frame. Like, in my head, I'm already thinking of resale, and a gray Dex will resell way quicker than, for example, a flashy yellow one, because more people will be interested in the gray one. It's another important thing to consider. And small things like that can literally double your turnaround time. So, oh, and please don't make the same mistake I did when I started. Don't buy rust buckets thinking you'll make them new. If it's been treated poorly, it's been treated poorly everywhere. You'll end up replacing half the bike before you make a cent. What's the most sketchy but ended up amazing marketplace deal you've ever found? Drop it below. Okay, as always, first thing I do when I get home is give the girl a good old shower. Potent degreaser, washing mitt, brushes, pressure washer, the whole deal. There's something about seeing all this grime melt off that feels like you're peeling off the mystery of the flip. The smell of oiled oil and chain lube mixed with fresh soap foam sounds weird, but that's the smell of opportunity. Then I started testing every part and make a list of everything that needs fixing or improving. When I first checked the bike, spark plug good, compression excellent, shifts smooth, brakes great, suspension perfect. Only thing not working, the lights. Electric start worked, so I ended up getting the bike for $600. Aesthetically also great. Plus, it had a GP1 cap speed exhaust worth €185 brand new. I already saw that in the pictures, so I knew this was going to be one of my best flips ever. Because it adds tons of value. That exhaust alone adds so much value because it not only looks clean, but it gives off that sporty tone that buyers love. It's like a cheat code for selling faster. However, next day the bike wouldn't start with the electric starter. Voltage checked, 12.8 volts. Battery is fine. Starter relay, replaced for €10. Boom. 20 starts later, perfect every time. Now it's time to start fixing the bike. I made a list of everything wrong and did each repair as cheap and as effective and as good as possible. Spark plug replaced and gapped correctly. Seat, I replaced the cover only. This cost me €20 instead of €60 for a full seat. It looked fresh and legit. Ceramic coat, cheap Amazon one, but wow. Paint pops like showroom condition. The gold triangle for profit, visuals, mechanics, electronics. Nail all three and buyers line up with cash.
As you can see here, we're fitting a new connector onto our brand new starter relay, and then we'll fit it and test it, of course. Also, for the rest of the video, I won't be talking that much, so don't think the video is over when there's no talking, but I'm just gonna do a voiceover for the rest of the video, and I truly hope you enjoy and maybe learn a thing or two. Okay, so first we take off the battery. Then we check the fuse, which was fine. Then we check the brake lights, both on this front and rear brakes, also fine. Then as you can see, we took out the battery. And now I'm fitting the new starter relay onto the new, or onto the wiring harness, I mean. I know this ain't the most 100% perfect way of connecting cables. You can solder them as well. But for these kind of flips, I don't know. They hold up well and it's fine. It's not twisted on, it's not taped on, so it's fine. More than fine. Here I was looking up on ChatGPT which wire wire has to go on which side, because there's two red wires, so you don't want to mess that one up. Now it's time to reconnect the battery. Just checking if there's no spark or anything smelling burnt here. Always want to do that when working on electronics. Never just reconnect the battery and think everything's fine. Better just to be safe. Okay, now it's time to actually test to see if our new relay installment was correct and if it fixed it. Oh, it's not bad. Oh, but wait, what's this?
Is it always okay?
It was the battery. Here I was smelling like what's going on. Is something burned? Nah. So I'm thinking right now it's just gonna be that the battery is low on voltage. So yeah, let's just charge it for half an hour and we'll see what it does afterwards. First, just to be sure, let's measure the voltages, and as you can see we have 11.9 volts, which is way too low for a bike to crank over. It does require at least 12.3 volts on most 50cc motorcycles to crank, and 12.6 or more to properly crank. And this was after the oh yeah. As you can see, it's starting super smooth every time. We did it.
Yes.
A great success!
Okay, so time to remove this bold sticker. Pun intended. By the way, do you know what this sticker resembles? Because I actually have no clue. Anyway, that peeled off super easily, as you could see. Give it a little wipe, and it's good to go. There's another sticker on there, but it's subtle and it's a famous shop here, so where the bike was bought, so I decided to leave that sticker on there. Okay, now it's another day and I'm trying to start up the bike, but as you'll see, it didn't go that smoothly. I was checking the choke, I was checking if there's fuel coming through the fuel line. There was a bit of fuel in there, but I was like, yo, must not be getting enough fuel pressure. So check the tank, filled up the tank, And there you go. As you can see, the headlight is not working at all. But it's idling like a sewing machine. Alright, time to take a look at the rear light, which is working on brake lights while braking, as you guys already saw, but ain't working when it's idling or when the engine's running. Okay, let's have a look at these cables. Okay, actually, let's first take off this rear fender so I can clean it properly. So yeah, first I need to remove the battery. And the battery gauge, because underneath the battery there's a screw holding in a metal wire, like holding in an electric wire with a screw that goes through the plug and through the frame and through the rear fender actually. I don't think it's originally built like that. I have no idea actually, but apparently that was the case on this bike. And it was a very tight connection, and the screw was 100% firm, didn't budge, so yeah. That was a no-brainer to put it back together. No need to change. Then there was this old air box which was connected to the injection mechanism or system normally, or assembly, but since the bike has been changed to a carburetor, the box was just sitting there. So I was like, yo, let's remove this, make the bike look cleaner, and I tossed it. Didn't toss it, but pulled it off the bike. Then I take off the number plate, license number, and then some screws, and then can finally remove the some nuts, I mean these nuts, and then we can remove this fender. There we go. And this is actually a huge airline that just, how do you say it? Airline, yeah. Two, actually. There were two hoses, air hoses, still on the bike connected to that box without a purpose. So I don't know. And then to imagine that it's professional shops who did this, so they replaced the injection system with a carburetor system, but then they don't remove the box and the air hoses. Pretty strange to me. Maybe they thought if the person wants to, the the previous owner wanted to swap back to an injection, that then there was at least the box and the hoses already. Okay, I'm trying to start the bike, but it won't crank. So I take apart and take off the starter relay. And then I toss it, because it's trash. And then I was feeling checked for a second, which I'm not. And then we started the bike, and as you can see, there's no rear light. So we're measuring the voltages on the wires going to the tail light or the rear light. The black probe we hold to frame. We put the multimeter on 20 volts DC. You place the red probe onto one of the three wires, you switch them up, and the black one you hold onto a metal or bare part of the frame. That's how easy it is. And we saw 12.5 volts coming to there, so I knew, or I thought, it had to be the bulb. Actually, it would have been faster to just instantly swap the bulb, check the bulb. So, bonus tip. Okay, so I just took the bulb from my other decks. That's... Oh, and there we go. Brake light and regular running lights. Great success. Now it's time to tackle the front headlights. So yeah, the assembly is super easy to take off, to get loose. Just 3 screws, Phillips head screws, and there you go. Okay, so I put the camera a little closer so you guys can see. As you can see, the connection at the back, there's 2 connections. One of them wasn't really snug on there. So I just try to make him fit properly by bending the rear connections, I don't know, metal-y thingies. Ooh, we have some light, but it's only low beam, not high beam. So right now I'm thinking, yeah, it's probably gonna be fixed by just putting in a different bulb. So take the bulb from the headlight of my other decks, put it in, and now we'll see what happens. Comment if you think it will work or not. Ooh, oh yeah, there we go. That's the goodness. It's small things like this why I love working on bikes. It's one big puzzle. Give the video a thumbs up and write a comment if you also love fixing things. Okay, now it's time to check the oil, and it all seems good. Now there's a bolt missing, as you can see here. So looked around for another bolt, and we found one. Time to just screw it in, and there we go. It's these little things that add the value to a bike, guys. if people can find anything wrong, like one bolt missing, they will freak out and walk away because they will think there has been messed with the bike. So there we go, looking clean. Now it's time to have a look at this seat latch because it's not latching correctly. Okay, let's check the latch system on my other decks so I know how it's supposed to be. Okay, now that we've had a proper look and have proper understanding of how this mechanism works on both ends and how it's supposed to be fitted, we can do the same on the new decks. Okay, now things should be good. Let's check it one more time. So as you may have noticed already, there's this yellow part on the seat cover, as you can see right now. And yeah, time to remove the seat cover, as you can see me do here. Just using a flathead screwdriver, and there we go. This is sped up 10 times, of course, just for sakes of the video. But that was pretty straightforward. Just bend all those triangle shaped tabs and you can take it off. And we finally got our Amazon package delivered. We got a spark plug, we got a seat cover, we have the Honda emblem for the steering wheel, we got a shifter, gear shift lever, and we also have a bulb for the tail light. So let's install them. First, let's install this gear shift lever. ChatGPT told me it wouldn't fit, and I was 99% sure it would, so I bought it still. And as you can see, in 1 second from now, it fits perfect. And it's that OEM German shift knob style, if you ask me. So yeah, let's tighten it up and let's see how it looks. As you can see, it's looking pretty good. And this only cost me like €6.50 instead of literally €26 for the one the site recommended. So these things add up, guys. 5 things for €20. And then we installed this emblem. Only cost a few euros, and it makes the bike look more OEM because of the sticker, the emblem, but also like finishes the bike. Otherwise there's like just a plate with nothing on there. So yeah, this is 1,000 times better. Do you agree? Let us know in the comment section. Then now it's time to install the daylight bulb. Super easy, plug and play. Now I also got this torque wrench, but it's not working. So what can I do now? I'm gonna check the manual again. First I tested it a few times. Exchange the torque. I was like, yo, what's this? Eventually, after a lot of twisting, I just tightened it up and then released the tension on it. And now it's finally working, as you can see. Just like everything in life, nothing works first time. You always have to do some stuff or go through a certain parkour before you can get everything to work. But yeah, great success again. Now I gave the bike a ceramic coating, as you can see here. Pretty straightforward. Also always make sure you polish the frame or the parts you're gonna ceramic coat. I did it, but I didn't film it. Now it's time to start putting the bike back together again. Finally, we got the parts, we installed all the parts, and now it's time to just make all the pieces of the puzzle fit and enjoy the results of our labor. And now it's time for the final pièce de résistance. So we mount the seat cover. This is the first time ever I've done any seat covers changing in my life, and it turned out freaking great. So I'm very happy and very proud I took the risk of doing that. Finally, the last thing we're gonna check is the valve timing and valve clearance, of course. So we remove both plugs or caps, and then you can check the timing and twist the engine, rotate it so it's on top dead center. Okay, first we remove the valve caps, so we have access to the valves themselves. Just take a socket 17 mil, or if you don't count, if you're not using metric, what are you doing, bro? Then let us know in the comment section, do you use metric or the other system? I don't even know what it's called, like inches. 1/15 of an inch. Like, what the fuck? Insane. So we rotate the engine on the 40mm nut on the left side of the engine, as you see me do here. And we check the marks, and I'm gonna show you the marks, how it's supposed to be. So you have the T with this line lined up at the line inside the engine compartment, and then the cam sprocket, which you see here, should be aligned as well with the mark on the engine casing, which I'll show you also in a second, I believe. The bike was not on top, was on top dead center, but it wasn't on the compression stroke. So then you rotate the engine one more time, and then you're on top dead center, compression stroke. Then you can check and set your valves. So here I'm checking the valve clearance by hand, just seeing if it moves. Now I make sure it's perfectly on top dead center. And I check the valves. They make some noise, as you can hear, so that's great. Just playing them. Now you take the feeler gauges and you measure them out. The specifications on how much it should be is always just ask ChatGPT or Google, or check the owner manual. On this particular model, it was 5 thousandths of a or like 0.05 millimeter on the intake and 0.08 millimeter on the exhaust. And the intake is the top one. The bottom one, which I'm doing now, is the exhaust one. Just saying. If you're new to this, you can already see the frame is shining like crazy because of that ceramic coating. Here I'm looking up the exact specs that it needs to be. Like I just said, I always look it up the moment I'm gonna do it on whichever bike, so I know for sure. Don't want to mess up them clearances though. So yeah, everything was on spec, so time to re-tighten the valve caps, put all the other caps, the cam chain sprocket cap and the flywheel caps all back together. So now we know our valve clearance and our valve timing is 100% spot on. Perfect. So now the bike should run right. Fine. Right? Spoiler alert, it didn't. As you'll be able to tell in the next clip. And there you go. Hope you enjoyed this mini valve adjustment and timing tutorial. Now, let's see how the bike runs. As you can see, the taillight is working, both while running and... oh, it seems to run nice. You would think. However, the bike is still 100% cold. And I had to learn a lot, and I will give you the thing I learned already. So, a bike can run perfectly fine, cold, but then as it gets hotter, it runs worse. Or it idles worse. If you have that, 9 out of 10 times, it's gonna be your pilot jet that's too big, guys. Because when it's hot, when it's cold, it needs more fuel. And when the engine's at operating temperature, it needs less fuel. That's why you use a choke. But if your pilot jet is too big, it mirrors the same issues. So your bike will run fine for a while, but as soon as the engine starts to heat up, it will start bogging like crazy. It took me 2 days to figure this out, but I just gave it to you guys in this secret in 2 seconds. Or secret, this knowledge. As you can see here, was running, shifting fine, but it didn't remain that way. Sadly enough, because I literally thought, I'm done, this bike is good to go. But nope, it had another trick up its sleeve. It didn't want to leave me yet. It's a beaut, ain't it? Such a beaut. Then I changed the clip position, needle clip position of the carburetor, because ChatGPT recommended this. So we tried that out, but sadly enough, without any major success. It helped, but it didn't fix the issue completely. Maybe did like 25% improvement. And as you're able to tell, the bike idles very fine, very steadily. However, as soon as I try to use throttle, it pokes, as you can hear here. At this point, I was 2 days into fixing it, and I was getting very tired of it, so I decided it's time to just completely replace the carb. I already cleaned out the carb completely, this one, but I'm like, okay, let's just swap it out with this one. So this is a aftermarket, another one, and I replaced it. However, didn't fix it. Then I decided, okay, it must be the jetting, so I ordered this from Amazon, a whole packet of Mikuni jets. If you're wondering which jets it are Mikuni jets, or Mikuni slash Kaihin jets, and I ended up, it's like, this is the crazy thing, the jet that was in the original carb, so which I bought the bike with, was a 35, and I ended up, I I used 32, 27 and a half, everything, but 25, and then it run better with 25. I was like, yo, let's go crazy, and then I swapped the 25 for a 20. Then I tested the bike, and then it was completely fine, completely fixed. So the jet that was in there was like literally twice the size as it's supposed to be. And if you think about it logically, a standard 50cc four-stroke engine doesn't require a 35 main jet. Um, Never. Like, most of the times it's always gonna be between 15 and 25. So 20 did it. As you can hear here, it's night and day difference in the way it responds to throttle when it's idling. Here I just lowered the idle speed a bit because it was revving a bit too fast. But you can hear, now it sounds like a proper freaking Dex. Let's test it out. By the way, the footage I'm showing you now is like 1/20th of all the footage. Like, I've done a lot of test drives while swapping jets, because yeah, you need to know if it runs good or not. Acceleration, and if when the engine's hot, that it still runs and accelerates well and idles well. Then you know you've got your jetting pretty well figured out, and then you just pull the plug as well, and you check for color, and if it's coffee, nice brownish color, yeah. And then finally you do a 30-minute test drive on the roads, and then you know for a fact that your bike is correctly jetted and set up. You can hear that the engine sounds so much better now. Great success. Okay, now this is the video I used for selling the bike. I always make a short video. Listen to that. And just the whole bike is looking very sharp and very complete and clean. So this was my final result, and I'm super proud of it. With a little work, I managed to change this bike big time and make huge profits. So you must be wondering, what's the profit, right? So let me tell you. Sold the bike for, drum rolls, 1,300 euros. Put in 600 for the bike and 50 for parts, so I ended up with an ROI, or return on investment, of 100%, which is insane. And here are some quick pictures to end this video by. Hope you enjoyed watching it. Make sure you subscribe for more insane projects and quick flips and restorations. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.